Hello. It's a pleasure to be here to share some thoughts with you. I said I want to talk to you before I retire this evening. And I feel that it would be of value to somebody that can hear this and that wants to hear it and that's ready to create some momentum in their lives, wherever their lives might be. I was thinking about and reflecting on my background a lot. When you turn 76, you start thinking about stuff. Hello, how are you? How are you? And I want to talk about who we have to be in order to do what we need to do and taking charge of our lives. And I've been reviewing and looking at the young Les Brown from this perspective, some things that I learned that stayed with me. I talked to one of my sons, and he wanted to have a conversation that was going to be long, and I said, "Well, I appreciate this conversation right now, but it's not about stuff that I want to hear." And and the thing is that it was not purposeful, and we switched to talk about some other things, which I was fine with. But it made me think about how can I say this? How casual some people are about where we are now. And there, to me, there's a level of commitment that one must have in life when things change, when your life has been interrupted, like our lives have been disrupted around the globe. There's a behavior change that's required, an attitudinal change that's required to make the adjustment for who you have to be and what you have to do. And it just brought me to thinking and rethinking my life. And I believe that there's some of you that can hear me. So I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you what I feel, those of you that can hear me. And it's something that I feel that you know this already, but sometimes we have to be reminded of what works. And I can talk to you about what works, what I know works, because at 76, and I look back as of February the 17th, when I turned 76, I think that we have a responsibility to pass some stuff on to people that are still coming. We learn, we earn, and we pass it on. I learned a lot on this path of how to overcome challenges, how to deal with setbacks, how to deal with foreclosure or losing your job or failures and disappointments. I learned a lot in how to deal with that. And I built a career on disruptions because life is full of disruptions. And you learn, you earn. I earned a lot from what I learned. And I'm not a billionaire, but I ain't doing bad. I'm doing what I want to do. A lady asked me today, said, "Are you going to take off today?" I said, "Take off?" I said, "I don't work." She said, "What do you mean? I see you all over the internet." I said, "I understand." I said, "I don't work. Work is something that you rather be doing something else rather than doing that. When I'm speaking, when I'm motivating people, when I'm lifting them up, that's all I think about. That's all that I want to do. That's not work. To me, living a successful life is doing something that's you, something that you love, and that you love it so much you do it for nothing, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. This is not work to me. To inspire you to pursue your greatness, to encourage you to take a chance on you. This is what I do. And I don't have to be paid for it. God has paid me already. Fact that I'm here because of his grace and mercy. I know I haven't been that smart. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer to believe that I got me here. I know who got me here. Hello. And so I'm going to share some things with you. I'm just talk to you from this vantage point, looking back. Let me share something with you. I used to work for a guy named Sam Axelrod, and we sold used television sets door to door. I was the youngest person on the sales team. He had this station wagon. This is before vans, and he would come pick us up, and we would be driven to certain areas, to Liberty City, to Coconut Grove, to different areas of Miami, and get out and knock on doors. Hi, would you like to buy a nice working used television set? No money down. And I remember when Sam came to pick me up, I would be outside standing, waiting on Sam. But the other guys, he had to blow his horn. Now, they knew what time Sam was coming, like I knew. And he had to wait for them to get dressed, or wait for them because they might have gone someplace else and got distracted and forgot what time he was going to come. I was standing outside. My mother was working at the M&M cafeteria, and Mama couldn't work there anymore. So I became the breadwinner for the family. I had a reason for Sam picking me up. I was standing outside ready for Sam. And they were just working to get some extra money to party on the weekend. That was not my agenda. Mama, she took us in. And as a result of her taking us in as foster kids and ultimately adopting us, I decided and made up my mind I was going to take care of her. Now why I'm sharing this with you is that your reasons determines how you show up, the kind of impact that you want to make with your life. My impact was I wanted to take care of my mother. My impact was I didn't want my mother to pay any bills. I was going to set her down. My mother used to say to me, my brothers and sisters, if a woman's got a job and a husband too, one of them's got to go. So I don't believe that women should pay bills. I'm old school. That's what a man used to do, provide for his family. I'm not talking about sperm donors right now. And if you disagree with me, ask me, do I care? No. No. And so I didn't want my mother working and paying bills. I said, Mom, when will I be a man? When you turn 18, you will never pay another bill. You'll never pay another bill. So I want you to follow me, and I want you to get a pad, and I want you to take some notes. I'm going to share some things with you because I believe that we're in another place. Things have changed dramatically. This coronavirus has changed, and we don't know what this thing is and where it's going, and all type of mixed messages. Oh, everybody. I mean, there's some people burning their mask, burning. Who does that? I don't know. I just wish I, I just wish I was selling life insurance. I go there when they would burn the mask. I would say, look here, I just got some insurance on you. Can you just sign right here and make me the beneficiary? Oh my goodness. Okay, if you don't want to wear a mask, okay, all right. Okay, that's your call and that's your life. But coming out and having a public burning. Oh, that's a bit much. As Jerry would say, that's just too much. That's just too much. But anyhow, here's what happened. That when here I was, 14 years old, grown men just working to get some money to party on the weekend or to gamble, to play the number. That's a poor man's lottery. And I was working to get food on the table, to take care of mama. And so as you look at yourself, look at where we are right now. Even if you've lost your job, I got something for you right now. If you hear me right, you'll see this as an incredible time. If you hear me from a right state of mind, a lot of people are mentally dead to what I have to say. My message, and I'm very clear on this, it's not for everybody. Most people rather die than change. Rather die. So I'm clear. This is not, my message is not for everybody. But for those of you who want to see a way out, for those of you that want to create something differently, for those of you that are feeling powerless and helpless, I want you to know it's not over until you win. There's a reason we're taught, and there's certain wisdom in life that we hear it so much that we really, for the most part, don't adhere to it. It's not over until you win. Judge not according to appearances. Judge not. I remember when the first home I bought for my mother, we went through foreclosure, and I was just devastated. I didn't do a title search, my first experience. And I remember standing behind the truck and unloading the truck and crying and feeling stupid and humiliated. And the neighbor said, "Mamie, you back?" "Yeah, my son lost a house." And my mother came to the back of the truck and she said, "Leslie?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, Mama." "What's wrong with you, boy?" I said, "I feel so stupid. I let you down. I feel so stupid." She said, "Hold your head up, boy." "I can't, Mama." "Hold your head up. You have nothing to be ashamed of. We still have each other. We still have each other. Take that furniture in the house." And that hit me. Wait, whoa. She was not embarrassed. She was not humiliated. Mama knew that life happens. And I made a strategic mistake by not having a title search. And I started taking the furniture in the house with a determination that I was going to get another house. And I did. And when we came in, the roaches were playing bid whist and bridge with the rats. Say, "Oh, Mamie's back. We'll have sweet potato pie." My mother, she could fix a sweet potato pie so good, you couldn't eat it with your shoes on. If you like sweet potato pie, I feel you, my brother. I have a sweet tooth. And I worked. I focused. And I want you to write this down. I took time to think, to look at myself. It's okay, this has happened. Now, what are you going to do? How long are you going to stay here being angry about that? How long are you going to stay here beating yourself up about that? This has happened. Now what? So what? This has happened. You got ripped off. Keep it moving. And I'm saying to you, keep it moving. Do what you got to do. Keep it moving. Willie Jolly is right. A setback is a setup for a comeback. And I kept focused on how to turn my disadvantage into an advantage. Then I started speaking. And guess what I did? I started speaking. I told the story of failure. I told the story of being ripped off. I told the story about how much my mother meant to me and what I wanted to do for her. And saying, ladies and gentlemen, things happen in life, that you're going to have some setbacks. You're going to have some failures. You will fail your way to success. And I wasn't successful. Well, how did you do it? Oh, fake it till you make it. I wasn't faking. I knew this. You will fail your way to success. You will fail your way to success. Life happens to everybody. And I had to look at myself and ask myself, are you going to let this get the best of you? One of my classes of Hungry to Speak, one of the speakers said that your past doesn't define you, it refines you. And she was absolutely right. It refined me to become more powerful, to become more determined, to become more focused, to become more driven. And that's where you have to be when you're going through some stuff. You don't have time to give away your power to complaining, giving away your power to having a negative state of mind. No, this is a time that you have to have an optimistic mindset that things are going to get better for me. That's what you got to say. I say that in the morning when I get up. Lord, whatever I face today, together you and I can handle it. Somebody said the other day, oh, I did not know. They called me. I did not know you were dealing with cancer. Oh, I feel so sorry. Baby, no, don't feel sorry for me. You need to feel sorry for the cancer. That's who you need to feel sorry for. I'm kicking the cancer's butt. Cancer in my neighborhood dropped by 95% because of how lethal I am. Let me tell you something. This thing called life, you can't be a wimp. Frederick Douglass had a point. He said, we won't get everything that we fight for, but everything we get, there will be a fight. And right now, America's shown its true character. All the stuff that we see, the divisiveness, the systemic racism, all the ugly, everything, the oppressive tactics and everything to just deny people a sense of having a shot at living the American dream. Hey, guess what? We got to do what we got to do. Find a way to get around it. What's driving you? Life happens. It's not fair that birds eat worms, and they do. Here's the other thing. Work on yourself. The reason that most people don't achieve their goals and take their greatness and their talents and abilities with them is because they're mentally weak. 85% of people that become involved in sales, after they experience some rejections outside of their family members and friends, they quit. When you're on the trail to pursue your dreams, we've been conditioned to believe that things can happen instantly. You see a program on television for an hour or 2 hours, and they start out with a complicated plot, and then it's resolved within an hour or 2 hours. Life is not like that. Hello? Did anybody tell you? No, transformation takes time. My nephew, oh, uncle, I listened to your motivational messages, and it just doesn't work for me. How long did you listen? Oh, for about 6 weeks on a regular basis. And it doesn't work for you. No. Okay. Do you know I was listening to motivational messages before your behind was born, before you knew yourself? I used to talk to you in your mother's stomach. Are you serious? You think that we can just strip away the mental conditioning and the things that we've experienced and passed on generation after generation in 6 weeks or more? You got to be committed to work on yourself, to improve yourself, to overpower the negative thoughts that you have about yourself. Studies indicate 85% of our self-talk is negative. Negative. And most people don't realize that. And it's governing their behavior. I like to talk about Margaret Mead. She was in Paris in a restaurant, and she said to this waiter who was there, and I told this the other night, somebody said, would you tell that again? I came in on the tail end. And the waiter said, there's several Americans here tonight. And she said, let me know when you serve them their dessert. I'll tell you how many Americans are here. And so he came back and he told her. She got up, she walked around, she looked, she said 35. He looked at the roster. How did you know that? She said, in Europe, in the UK, when you eat a slice of pie, you eat it from the crust toward the tip. In America, we eat it from the tip toward the crust. How do you eat yours? Wow. And so there are things that we pick up between 0 and 6. We learn through conversations, observation. Let me share this too. I hate to use this example, but it's a good metaphor. Fleas have the capacity to jump 18 inches high. But if you put fleas in a 10-inch jar, this experiment has been done. And watch, they'll jump up and down, up and down. You listen, they'll hit their heads. Then after a while, they'll be jumping up and down, but they won't hit their heads. Now, when you take the top off, they'll be jumping up and down, up and down, up and down, and they won't jump out. They've been rejected so long and so often, they said, probably, in flea language, it's no use, it's no hope. And they give up. Here's the tragic part. When they have baby fleas, even though the baby fleas are born with the capacity to jump 18 inches high, the baby fleas, when they are born, they jump just below 10 inches. Why? Observation, their environment, the conversations. Fleas saying to each other, don't even try, baby. Don't try. No, this is stacked against us. This is our fate. Boy, this thing called life. When you're in that kind of environment, I'm 76. That's the kind of stuff happened when I was a kid. And you got millions of people who think like that. Millions of people who determine to hold you down. Millions of people who determine to prevent you from living your dream or living the fullness of who you are and what God chose you to do with your life. You can't be casual about that. So what do, Les? First, you got to work on yourself. Because the change that has taken place, it's challenging. Where we are now, this is crazy. Our kids, I feel sorry for these children and what they're going through and what their parents are going through. My great-grandsons, they're struggling with this. It's a whole new culture. People wearing masks. They can't even see or smile. Can't hug nobody. Keeping social distancing. You think that's not affecting those children, affecting them in a negative way? If we feel, and I deal with positive messages every day, if I feel like the walls are closing on me, and I'm talking to a squirrel named Tyrone, telling me I'm bilingual, and I speak squirrely, what do you think our children going through? So We got to fill our minds with positive information. This is why I'm talking to you right now. I'm not going to let the evil people, the people with the garbage, the people with stuff that does not serve us, the people that stuff that does not strengthen us. This is no joke. This is real. We need to be reminded of who we are and whose we are. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. We need to be reminded, these things ye shall do, and greater things shall ye do. We need to be reminded, you are more than a conqueror, now more than ever before. We don't need to be talking about Jesus gonna fix it. No. He gave us what we need to fix it. He said, these things ye shall do, and greater things shall ye do. Pray as if everything depends upon God, and work as if everything depends upon you. And so, part of the process is working on yourself. I want you to go to Hungry to Speak, hungrytospeak.com. Got a free gift there for you. And for those of you that want to do something with your story, I just, I think about the fact that when I look at my life, I told the story about my mother. She never had any children. A reporter asked her, how did you know you could raise 7 children by yourself? And she said, I just believed that the Lord would make a way somehow. Ladies and gentlemen, there's some things that we don't have proof to verify our faith, to back up, to substantiate it. But we got to trust. We got to believe that some way, somehow, the Lord will make a way. When I decided I was going to get another house for my mother, I had no clue in how I was going to do it. No clue. But in tradition, like my mother, I believed I could do it, and I did it. I don't tell you this to impress you, but to impress upon you, don't you throw in the towel on yourself because of what has happened to you. Things happen to you, or they can happen in you. And what happens in you is an initiative, a willingness, a determination, a stirring up of something. I said, no, this ain't going down like this. No, this is not the end of the story. No, it's about to be a new chapter up in here. And I started working. I didn't look to the right. I looked to the left. I started learning something new. I'd been fired from radio for being controversial, being a community activist. And I started learning how to use my talents in another way. I was very good in radio, very good. Good today. But I had to learn how to use my gift. Your gift will make room for you in another way. This is where we are. We are in a new place, a place where you have to throw your net on the other side, where you take the initiative to learn something new, to work on yourself. But here's something else. When Sam came and picked us up to sell these television sets door to door, sometimes areas we would go in, and nobody was able to sell a television set. And so the other guys would be at the station wagon with Sam waiting. And he would do a head count. I can hear him. Where's Leslie? And they would say, oh, he's still knocking on doors. And he said, hey, Leslie. I said, yes, sir. Nobody's buying. Okay, well, we're ready to go. Well, Sam, I'm not ready to go yet. Why? Nobody's buying. I haven't sold anything yet. See, they were ready to quit. Here's something, whatever you do, give yourself a self-imposed quota. I had a quota. I just told one of my sons, okay, call me when you get through entertaining or having dinner. But ask me, will my head hit a pillow before I do something that I've set out to do? Have a quota of what I want to accomplish each day. And I'm committed to do that. And I'm not going to let the distractions of life get in the way of that. Listen to me, son. Get in the habit. People form habits, and habits create futures. How I got here is that I don't think like other people. How I got here, I set a quota for myself, self-imposed. And I honor that. I say to myself, here's what I'm going to do today. Here's what I'm going to accomplish today. Here's what I'm going to earn today. And I will do that until I get it accomplished. Now, here it will not hit the pillow. You got to become a no matter what person. You got to be determined to make it happen. It's more difficult and challenging now than ever before. Self-imposed. Honor your commitment to yourself. There are things that appear to work against you, but I have found they bring something out of you if you allow it. I was on this lineup, Get Motivated. They gave Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, everybody in the program, and 90 minutes. And the guy who set it up, he gave me 15 minutes. The only way that I got on that stage was because when they did a poll at the end of those motivational events, they asked them, who else would you like to see? The people leaving fill out a form and said, Les Brown. Why don't you write this down? Make yourself so good you can't be ignored. I used to call him and ask him to let me come and speak on the stage to give me a shot. And he said, no, the owner of this tour. But after he had such an overwhelming demand from people going to these motivational events, we want to see that guy, Mamie Brown's baby boy. We want to see him. The story that I tell about my mother. Others were giving information. If information could change people, everybody would be skinny, rich, and happy. And when it came my time, Mr. Brown, you're up. Okay, great. Gave me a microphone. You got 15 minutes. Excuse me? You got 15 minutes. Come on, man. You got to be kidding me. No, you got 15 minutes. Brian Tracy got 90 minutes. Zeke got 90 minutes. You had 90 minutes. You give me 15 minutes? I had called my kids there, my friends that lived in the area to come see me, and they're flown in to see me, and you give me 15 minutes? Oh, that's real good. We're being real generous. Generous, yeah. So I got 5 minutes to create a connection with the audience, 5 minutes to give my speech, and 5 minutes to sell my products. Yeah, that's all you got. 15 minutes. And be glad you're on the stage.